Alright, so I think it's about time that I give an update on my channels and what the fuck is going on. So basically, I want to work on some longer videos and on my programming projects. And since I'm working part-time in retail, I don't get much time to really spend on these longer projects. But as you may perhaps know from my Discord and my demonetized video, both my channels are completely demonetized, which is very unepic. So the main channel was demonetized for duplication. I forget the reason why the 2009 one was demonetized. Anyway, it's fucking retarded. So anyway, now I've stooped low enough to actually make a Patreon account, despite how much I usually make fun of it. But anyway, this is kinda what I'm planning with these channels in this little update, I guess. Alright, well, the shitposting videos are not really going to change much. Same with the Genocide Engine demonstrations. Although I've wanted to do a lot more of the longer style videos, as I mentioned earlier, like the Why Whooper Sucks or the PlayStation 1 VCD add-on sort of video. In fact, I've had this idea for a long time to show how to burn libcrypt copy protected games on a PlayStation 1 without using any crack patches or anything, because I made a tool called SBI Tools where you can... Anyway, that shit's not that important. Basically, I want to turn it into a big video and make it easy, because before I made those tools, there was like no information on the internet. It was pissing me off. So I made the tools myself. Anyway, back on topic. Another video I wanted to make was a demonstration video of the Super Disk, which is basically a supercharged floppy disk drive that can use these 120 megabyte disks. I actually recorded the video a while ago, like 2016 I think. Although I think I was a dumbass and formatted the SD card what those files were on. So I guess I'll just have to redo that video. And maybe just some other tech stuff in general that I want to do. You know, 10 to 15 minute videos. But the problem with these longer detailed hobby videos is they take ages to edit and put together, which I don't really have too much of that time when I'm working part-time and also developing a first-person shooter engine alongside it. So these videos rarely get made, if ever. So I make these quick shitposting videos instead, and hopefully if I get enough Patreons I can actually take some time off retail work and spend it on quality videos I actually feel proud of instead of making these quick shitposting videos on my main channel. Although having a Patreon also means higher quality shitposting too, since a lot of them, like that Stuart Little video, took ages to make. In fact, I'm actually working on a Doing Your Mum edit for the Phonic Chipmunk channel, and here's a prototype. Okay, so that was the prototype, but that video has taken ages to make, mostly because of the motion tracking. But I think it will be very epic. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the main channel. Now I'll get on with the 2009 channel. Alright, so I really need to give an update to this channel since it's been inactive for the majority of this year. So basically, shortly after I made the Baby Tonight video, the hard drive has basically shat itself. The hard drive is rarely ever able to start up anymore. It just makes this weird whining sound and turns straight off before it even gets recognized in the BIOS. And yeah, last time I attempted to turn it on was in June, and I couldn't get it working at all. Not even the whining sound, so I think it's basically stuffed. So the cockroach caramel dancing video was actually made on this computer that I use for everything else, not the 2009 computer. As I found a copy of XP Movie Maker online. I've actually got a replacement hard drive ready for this 2009 PC, but I still haven't replaced it yet. And maybe I'll even make that a video on its own, as I'm hoping to clone it if I can get it to read again. Maybe it'll read on another PC with USB adapters or something. It could just be that computer, who knows. Well, it seems I'm always having hard drive problems with this bloody computer. Around the same time the previous year, I think it was, yeah, 2018, the RDA adapter corrupted the drive and made Windows 98 unbootable. I could still get into XP, but it was just switching the hard drive off randomly while used. It was, yeah, not good. Now I'm actually wondering if that's related to the RDE adapter I had, or because the hard drive itself was failing. Who knows? At the time, unplugging the adapter made it work, so... Anyway, hopefully I can get the drive to read again and clone it to this new one. Otherwise I've lost all my 2009 project files and a crap load of save game. In the meantime though, just for fun, until I get it going again, I've uploaded pretty much all the handy tools for actually making Kippykip 2009 videos on my GitHub. Link is in the description for that. It includes Hypercam 2, watermarks, like for ABS for you, Hypercam itself if you don't want to use the program, a BitCrush upscaler script for Audacity, Movie Maker, etc. Just go nuts, alright? Alright, so this is probably one of my longest projects ever. If you want to get technical, the project started getting developed back in 2013 when I was still in high school. But I've always had this idea since I was a dumb little kid to make an old school 3D pixelated shooter. Even when I first discovered SketchUp back in like 2009 or 8 or whatever it was, I made some really bad V models and stuff. Anyway. So this project that I started doing in 2013, I was just going to call it Genocide. Although this is just when I discovered the Blitz 3D engine a year before that, so like 2012. And I was definitely not skilled with it in any way. I did make some videos on it at the time, but it was basically becoming really laggy. The code was an absolute complete mess, and there was no comments and documentation. As I said, this was like probably one of the first programming languages that I actually really got into, or started getting into, and this is when I was just learning it. In fact, a lot of half of the variables were just swear words and random keyboard mashing, so it got so bad to the point I just restarted the whole Genocide engine game project in 2015. I was experimenting with blitzmax instead of blitz 3D at the time, which I ended up settling back on Blitz 3D again since there was a huge lack of stable 3D modules for blitzmax back then. Although yeah, I was beginning to get really unhappy how the 2015 version of the game was turning out. The player controls were horrible, and then it was clear that Blitz 3D was becoming outdated. In fact, Windows 8 ran DirectX 7 applications in a locked 30 frames per second. Plus it pestered users to install Direct Play whenever you put a Blitz 3D compiled game onto another PC. So I just gave up on this entire project and just worked on other stuff instead. So yeah, around 2017 I was starting to really play around with blitzmax for other things. As you may know, I made some Game Boy Advance Doom 2 modding tools at the time, along with a desensor patch, all in this blitzmax program. But around the same time, I was playing with some 3D modules and programming an Oblivion-like console. But then I was also having a bit of fun with sine waves and made some fake-looking cracktros. Then one day, out of boredom, I put them all together and made some 3D gun bobbing thing with sine waves, and made this dumb meme video out of it. It wasn't supposed to become anything. The project's file name is literally called Moving Thingy to this day. But somehow that shit turned into how the project is now. I don't know why it turned into this. In fact, I'm thinking it might be partly because around this time, my brother kept encouraging me to make the game engine again, or restart the project. I still have a pretty good memory of me adding basic physics after this, and re-adding the test map from the previous 2015 engine, and showing my brother footage of it for the first time. In fact, here's a video that I showed my brother in 2017 if you're interested. However, the original Genocide game idea is never going to happen anymore, as around this time, Gus got announced, which did the shooter idea better than I ever could have done myself. Although I still kind of retain the name as the Genocide engine. Actually, in reality, it's more of a code base. The true engine is Open Blitz 3D by Mark CWM, which is a 3D module for blitzmax. And if you don't know what blitzmax is, it's basically a remake of the basic language, which translates itself to C++ code, which you can compile, and it runs at near native speed, so it's pretty epic. Anyway, so I have some big plans with the Genocide engine. Once I get all the main first-person shooter groundwork done to the point where it's actually possible to make entire games out of it, then I'll make some joke games, and I want to make a full indie title. Plus I'll release the source code on GitHub. One of the joke games, for example, would be a chipmunk first-person shooter, because why the fuck not? It would be so epic and so illogical, and why anyone would want to spend so much time on a first-person chipmunk game. Just why? Why the fuck not? Anyway, for the actual game that I want to make, this full proper indie title, I'd like to make with my brother and release it on Steam. The actual game will have you play as this fucking bogan guy who becomes a stowaway on this flying ship to Cytheria. Cytheria being a sky world where it's illegal to own books and sideburns are mandatory, and plenty of other dumb laws. Alright, so for example, everything is on scrolls. Bogan civilians don't know any better and don't understand the concept of a book, when a scroll to them just sounds so much more superior, because you don't have to turn the page and all this other dumb shit. However, the main story is, once you get caught as a stowaway, you have to secretly get this spell book for the leader of the guards. The deal is, you give this book to her, and if you don't, she'll get you executed by all the guards in Cytheria. You're pretty much fucked. You have to get this book. So, you try to get this book by going through the most badass way possible, fighting random monsters on your way. It will be just like a traditional first-person shooter, a bit more open-ended hopefully. And after all that, you finally obtain the book and you give it back to the leader. But she ends up using the book to take over the place, overthrowing the Queen of Cytheria, who's clearly actually some hairy fucking bloke. Anyway, in the in-game world, everything goes to shit. For example, the sky is red, everything's screwed, everyone's dying, and you gotta stop her and get that book back somehow. So it'll be just a pretty, hopefully interesting first-person shooter. The engine will hopefully feature some bad Oblivion-like Radiant AI conversations, stealth mechanics, a full inventory system, an rest and bounty system with side quests to get better weapons. Completing levels will actually change the time of the day for the next level, and that would mean you would have to be more wise on which levels you pick first on the overworld map screen. Or basically the too long didn't listen equivalent. It's like a weird combination of Postal 2, Deus Ex, but the NPCs act like bogan versions of the Oblivion AI. I think it will be really fun gameplay and just really funny in general. So if you actually want to help contribute to this indie game, or alternatively want to help contribute making the world's greatest shitpost of all time in the form of a game where the Alvin and the Chipmunks go to Tiananmen Square for an Infinity Stone, then you can support me on the Patreon. If you pledge $1 or more, I'll give you access to some Patreon sections on my Discord, along with a special role, and I'll give you a shout out at the end of my main videos. And if you pledge $3 or more, I'll actually give you links to playable alpha builds of the Genocide engine. Plus, your name will be added to the Patreon's console command permanently. So yeah, hopefully we can get something dumb made, and hopefully I can resume some 2009 videos and make some more high quality shitpost and just cool tech videos. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.